Here we go, second try. Hopefully now with less wounding. Yeah, a little tight. I probably should have taken up some of the slack in that chain after I took the slack out of the straps after I moved them. Okay, still all the fingers on that hand anyways. Looking like we might be a little bit tight here, but I'm not sure yet. This is pretty close to where it's supposed to be. You know, like that's the hole right up in there. And it's actually probably about an inch back of where it should be. Look at this. Well, we're more than an inch back of the valve covers, which is where I thought the interference issue was going to come in. So, to go and grab my cab mounts and bolts and see if I can't line stuff up and drop it on. This is not going to be on permanently. That one is pretty much established. I still have to clean up the underside of the cab where I did some welds, and looking at it from this side, I want to redo some of those welds. And then it's got to be undercoated. So, on to the next step. Okay, so that doesn't look too bad. Well, doesn't look too bad on this side either. Until you realize that it's not fully on the front cab mounts here. I'd say that's what, about 4 inches there. This side might not hit, but that other side sure as hell is going to. Well before 4 inches are done. It's whatever it is, it's going to be very close. So we'll see. I'll slowly drop it down, keep an eye on it, and show you what happens. Okay, about an inch and a half to go, and this cab mount isn't even all the way forward. There's about 3/8 of an inch of clearance there, and well, obviously it's not going to get better. This side was the side I thought we were going to have problems with. It's, well, it's not much better. That's probably 1/8 of an inch of clearance between the valve cover and that. But on this side, yeah, no, that one's not, that cab mount is not all the way forward either. So, it looks like either I'm going to have to do some clearancing on the firewall here. If I look at this, if I bring this forward to the location it's supposed to be at, that would be probably about 1/2 inch closer. This indentation on the firewall here would probably be adequate if I wasn't routing anything there. So I'd have to bring this out around where the clutch, is that the clutch going through there, or is that throttle? No, throttle cable is up there. I'm guessing this is either, no, I'm not sure what that is. I think it is the clutch opening. Anyways, remove that, you know, bring it over flat, up about even with here, and we'd probably be okay. On this side, it's not quite so straightforward because I'm not sure how this is going to interfere with the heater box. So, geez, I'm going to have to go and mock up the heater box inside just to see how much I can cut away there. Like, I'd have to indent the firewall there as well. I don't want to just pound it in with a hammer. I do want to do a reasonably neat job. The other possibility is, because I don't care about what my drive shaft lengths are, because I got to make new ones anyways, and I'm not really too worried about exactly where the transfer case sits, because it's going to be independent of the engine transmission. I could try and move the engine forward. Now, obviously for a different model of engine, probably the 6-banger. Yeah, that's right. The 6-banger had, this is a straight cross member. The 6-banger had an L shape or a zigzag shaped cross member, and the second set of bolts came up here. It's possible that, let's just have a quick look here. It's possible that I could move the cross member forward what looks to be about 3 inches. I'm still on the flat part of the frame there, still on the flat part of the frame there, still flat here. Drill 2 new holes and work with it there, or I could work with the existing holes and work around that. That'd mean bring this top one up. You know, I could get a tape measure. Bring this one up. What are we looking at? Looks to be about 3.5 inches on that one. And that'll make everything clear the firewall quite nicely. I don't think there's going to be any problem there, unless there's a problem clearing the transmission, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. I brought this forward just based on the the holes here. It looks like it's about 2 inches, which also would be adequate. Now, obviously, I don't have to work with the existing holes there, because no matter what, I got to drill the holes on the bottom part of the cross member, which is the key part of the cross member. Yeah, I'd have to re-drill all those holes there, and there is a whole existing hole right there, but I don't think I want to bring it forward that much. That looks to be almost 6 inches there, and that starts to mess up my other mounts as well, because then they come into this flared part here. Okay, so now the next question is, how far forward can I bring it and still have the fan effective? Because the fan does have to have some clearance between it and the radiator, otherwise it's not drawing around the swept area of the actual fan blades. So, time to mock up the fan, see how much clearance I have between it and the where I expect the radiator is going to sit, and figure out something there. This is going to be a long video. Studs in the wrong bolt hole. I love the age of discovery that seems to be this project. Yeah, it just occurred to me after I moved those studs so that they would work with this fan that means that pulley won't work, so I'm going to have to buy a new pulley, which is far cheaper than that brand new fan was. Anyways, a couple of issues I can see that are going to come up here. This fan is going to, if I move this much further forward, the fan and the cross member are going to become an issue. I wonder if I can see. It actually doesn't look like it'll come, it'll contact it, but it will mean that the shroud will be very, very close to the cross member. I don't see any other problems that are going to come about because of the fan. Now I guess I gotta figure out how far away it is from the where the radiator will be. Okay, I'll pause this. I'm gonna go and grab the old shroud and just see where that would sit. Okay, here's the 6.5 liter van shroud. It actually works really well for this fan. Now, not in this position though. It looks like it wouldn't be a problem if I moved the engine forward 3 inches. That would work. That would be pretty much the same way that the original engine sat in the van. So I'm not going to feel too bad about moving that 3 inches forward, and that cures instantly all of my clearance problems here, I think, quite nicely. 3 inches would bring this forward. Let's go grab a tape measure because I'm not prepared. 3 inches at the firewall here would pretty much clear everything up from the back of the engine up to that glow plug. And if we look at it right here like that, it looks like there would be no possibility of any interference, because it'll actually be sitting forward of the firewall. I imagine the same is true on this side, because this side wasn't quite as bad for clearance. Let's just measure this, have a quick look here, and it looks like it's the same story here. So there you go. Move the engine 3 inches forward of the stock small block location, and it looks like it'll work quite well. The fan will work. The shroud would work if I end up doing a lot more work on the core support and actually move this side over as well as this side, which actually does have some side benefits because it does give me a little bit extra clearance on this side and a little bit less on this side, but it's still adequate. So, or I could just do what I was talking about before, which is to modify this side and leave that side alone and blah blah blah. Oh, yes, decisions. I did do some further RAD investigation, and if I go with the stock RAD, I'm going to have a problem with the outlet sizes, because the outlet sizes on this one are different from the ones on the stock, 350 or anything like that. So that would mean some other hassle. So I kind of pretty much have to use the stock 6.5 liter rad. So I'm going to be modifying my core support. Anyways, I think that's it for today. I'm going to put some blocks under the cab so I'm not relying on the hoist to hold it in place, and that way it won't drop on my engine there. And I'm going to knock off for today. So we'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be moving the engine forward. I guess I'll be taking the cab back off, or I think what I'll do is I'll just lift it up, move it back a couple of feet on the frame, put some wood underneath it or something like that, and hoist up the engine and move it forward. Like I said, well, I'll have to re-drill some holes and go from there. Okay, see you tomorrow.